Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a seriously fascinating and, frankly, deeply grim scenario from the Fallout universe. We're talking about the Great War of October 23, 2077. This was a thermonuclear exchange that lasted just 2 short hours, but it completely wiped out the vast majority of humanity across the entire globe. So today, we are going to dissect exactly how and why almost the entire world fell apart and trace the specific, crazy steps that led straight to global annihilation. Now, you might be wondering, is the irradiated American wasteland actually the best place to live? I mean, it sounds totally absurd, right? But the answer is a terrifying yes. Thanks to Vault-Tec and their massive network of doomsday bunkers, America actually secured a 5-star survival rating in this universe. But what's really interesting is the implication this holds for the rest of the planet. Think about it. If an irradiated wasteland full of mutated creatures is considered a 5-star existence, what in the world happened to everyone else? Well, today, we're conducting a sort of geopolitical autopsy to understand why the rest of the world completely failed to survive. 0. That is the survival rating out of 5 stars that almost every other country on Earth earned. Literally, complete obliteration. We're going to explore the cascading domino effect that doomed these nations, ultimately leaving them as nothing more than radioactive dust. Section 1. Death by resource starvation. So the first major fatal flaw for the globe really began with the catastrophic collapse of the Middle East and Europe. You see, long before the bombs fell in 2077, there were the resource wars. This was a massive global conflict ignited by a very real 2022 energy crisis. The world was rapidly running out of uranium, which of course was necessary for nuclear weapons, and more crucially, oil, which was needed for absolutely everything else. This crisis caused devastating global oil price hikes. Economies completely fractured, and the pressure was just so immense that the United Nations was actually forced to disband. Let's look at how this desperation actually escalated, because it's like a giant powder keg. Following that 2022 energy crisis, a desperate Europe invaded the Middle East in the 2050s just to seize its dwindling oil reserves. But here's the catch. Invading requires oil, which only rapidly accelerated the depletion. This tension finally snapped, triggering a regional nuclear exchange that completely destroyed the city of Tel Aviv. Retaliation followed retaliation until the entire Middle East was decimated, earning our very first 0-star survival rating. And with the Middle Eastern oil effectively destroyed, the European Commonwealth dissolved practically overnight, plunging into a brutal 17-year European civil war over the remaining scraps. That war lasted right up until the Great War in 2077. Section 2. The prime nuclear targets. Now, if resource depletion and civil war didn't kill a nation, what did? Well, survival wasn't just about resources. It was about what put a massive target on your back. Take Germany, for instance. They perfectly represent the danger of advanced weapons manufacturing. Post-World War II, Germany became an absolute powerhouse, with companies like Heckler & Koch creating the incredibly advanced L-30 Gatling laser powered by 2066 microfusion cells. This high-tech industry meant everyone, from warring European neighbors to America's enemies, wanted to take those assets by force. Contrast that with the USSR, representing dangerous geopolitical alliances. Even though they maintained diplomacy with the US, American analytics viewed the USSR as a natural joint nuclear threat alongside China. Add to that their dabbling in wildly unethical human experimentation, like Michael Masters breeding super warriors, and the USSR was practically guaranteed to be on the receiving end of a massive nuclear payload. Both of them earned 0 stars.
And it wasn't even just the big superpowers getting targeted here. Simply being an ally, or honestly, just existing within easy nuking distance of a superpower, completely doomed these Asian nations. For example, Taiwan was intentionally destabilized in 2067 by the United States using a predictive analytic machine AI during the mysterious Pascal incident. And Japan, despite maintaining friendly relations and even hosting pre-war American tourism like the Woga High School Bake-Off exchange, they were entirely wiped out just due to their geographical proximity to the conflict. Both sit at a harsh 0 stars.
Section 3. The rare post-war outliers. Okay, so we've seen a whole lot of zeros, but what about the few places that actually managed to scrape by with 1 to 4 stars? Well, these nations survived only as faint ghosts of their former selves. Norway earns half a star. The only evidence of their survival are Norwegian ghoul sailors stranded on the FMS Northern Star in Boston, tragically yelling, "Leave us alone," as they guard their ship. Ireland earns 1 star, and we only know that through post-war immigrants to America like Colin Moriarty and passed down family phrases from the Sullivan family.
The UK manages 2 stars, because elites like Alistair Tenpenny and pre-war ghouls like Desmond Lockhart prove that a tiny, tiny fraction of British citizens actually made the voyage across the Atlantic.
Now let's analyze how the immediate US buffer zones fared. Mexico sits at 3 stars. The US basically used political instability as a disguise to have Poseidon Energy occupy Mexico in 2051 for its oil. After the war, Mexico became a radioactive ruin full of mutated night stalkers and ghouls, like the famous gunslinger Raul Tejada. Canada fared slightly better at 4 stars, but only because they were brutally annexed by the US in 2072 to protect the Trans-Alaska Pipeline from the Yukon 5 Canadian resistance. So both nations survived, for sure, but purely as subjugated extensions of the American wasteland.
Section 4. The final catalyst, the fall of China.
Just consider Chairman Chiang's incredibly desperate China for a second. As the last global superpower outside of the US, China was literally starving. To support their massive military, they annexed surrounding countries. Oil became so unimaginably valuable there that civilian driving was completely outlawed. Resource shortages were so severe that citizens literally had to win a rigged state-run lottery just to eat dinner. I mean, this is what a superpower looks like right before it snaps. And when American interference ruined a massive deep-sea Pacific oil deposit that China had just tapped, the Sino-American War truly began. And this brilliantly illustrates a clash of extremes. China had overwhelming raw manpower, terrifying Ghost Fleet stealth technology, and superior Type 93 assault rifles. They used all of this to invade Alaska. But America countered with a devastating technological trump card: invincible T-51B power armor and microfusion cores. America was pushing China back, leaving them completely cornered and desperate. But here's the crazy part. While the US military was winning abroad, a dark irony was unfolding at home. America survived, but only because its hyper-radicalized citizens willingly traded all their freedom for the mere appearance of security. Fear ruled absolutely everything. Citizens accepted Executive Order 99066, which placed people in concentration camps without trial. They enthusiastically used 1-800-REPORT-RED hotlines to turn in their own neighbors for something as simple as a potluck dinner. The American public was completely brainwashed into compliance. In that compliance, it allowed the government to act with zero oversight. When the mysterious new plague arrived in 2053, the US government used it to justify highly unethical experiments by defense contractor Vault-Tec. This resulted in the forced evolutionary virus, or FEV, a DNA mutating biological weapon. This climate of unchecked paranoia and government secrecy led directly to the Project Safe House initiative, birthing Vault-Tec in 2054. So America effectively became a ruthless corporatocracy ruled by monopolies like Vault-Tec, Robco, and Poseidon Energy. These corporations worked citizens like literal machines, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, with heavily monitored 135-second bathroom breaks. It's bleak. Yet this terrifying corporate monopoly, specifically Vault-Tec and its underground bunkers, is the single and only reason a fraction of Americans survived when that cornered, starving China finally launched its nukes. Which brings us right back to our survival scorecard. A 5. America somehow earned 5 stars. Remember, this means that an irradiated wasteland completely overrun by murderous raiders and horrifying mutated creatures is the absolute pinnacle of human existence in the Fallout universe. It's literally the absolute best outcome anyone on Earth achieved, while the rest of the globe was handed a 0% chance of survival. I want to leave you with this final thought to chew on. The wasteland might be an irradiated hellhole, but it may literally be the best place this world has to offer. It forces us to ask a deeply provocative question, doesn't it? If you have to trade away all of your human rights, your freedom, and your dignity just to secure a spot in a Vault-Tec bunker, was surviving the Great War truly a victory at all? Thank you so much for joining this explainer. Keep asking questions, and we'll see you next time.